Headlines at 6 o'clock. The BBC contacts the police following allegations an unnamed presenter paid a 17-year-old for explicit pictures.
Today, more allegations in the Sun newspaper that the presenter, who has been suspended, contacted the family in recent days.
A second child dies after a car crashed through a fence at a primary school in Wimbledon on Thursday.
We're live in Downing Street with the US President. Joe Biden will be arriving soon for talks with the Prime Minister. The war in Ukraine, top of the agenda.
Good morning. A big day for Taylor Swift fans as tickets for her long-awaited UK tour go on sale. But with prices for big music gigs soaring and no guarantee you'll even get one, does the system need a shake-up?
In sport this morning, England keep their Ashes hopes alive. A thrilling finale to the third test goes their way as England trim Australia's lead in the series to 2-1 with 2 tests left to play.
TfL has announced 10 tube stations which will be prioritised for step-free access. They include Arners Grove, Northolt, West Hampstead, White City and Rayners Lane. TfL say the work should be completed within the next 18 months. The big issue is launching a new initiative in London aimed at increasing sales of the magazine. Customers will be able to interact with selected sellers who have a QR code on their lanyard or via a web page to share information with family and friends.
Well, look, this morning's front pages, shall we? One story dominating. The Telegraph says the BBC has called in the police over allegations against a top male presenter who is accused of paying a teenager for explicit images. The paper claims the BBC's internal investigations team will meet Scotland Yard detectives today.
Well, The Sun has revealed new allegations about the presenter, claiming he made what it calls 2 panicked calls to the young person after The Sun's original report came out.
The Times also leads on the BBC presenter. It features the claim that government ministers and police chiefs want judges to hand down tougher sentences also to just stop oil protesters who disrupt sporting events.
Elsewhere, one of the most read stories on the BBC News website, it's about the late Rolling Stones drummer Charlie Watts, whose book collection is being auctioned off. It says it features dozens of rare works, including signed first editions of The Great Gatsby and The Hound of the Baskervilles.
And there is one picture story that is dominating lots of the papers today, which I'd love to share with you right now, and it's this. That would be Brad Pitt and his fellow actor, Damson Idris. They were at the British Grand Prix yesterday at Silverstone. I can't think why so many people have put this picture on their front page.
How does he look so good at what, the tender age of 59?
He's 59.
Looking great.
Looks incredible. They're filming, obviously, at the moment. They're filming at Silverstone yesterday, and Brad did drive a car for a bit, didn't he?
Only a little bit.
Not for very long.
So spectators say he drove for about 75 metres. So they use the actual race, and it's the formation lap, so the bit where all the cars get put in place. So they use that to do a bit of filming.
Right.
But a lot of people thought, you know, given all the gear, he might be out for a bit of F1.
I'm sure he would be, but I'm not sure what the insurance would be like on that.
That's a very, very good point.
Anyway, we look forward to that film when it eventually comes out.
There's a bit of a champagne theme to the programme this morning.
Good.
As well. So apparently in the paper this morning it says that the trick to keep champagne good for longer is to have it in a much bigger bottle. I mean, that sounds like a great idea. So it says if you put it in a 3-litre Jeroboam, which is 4 times bigger than a standard-sized bottle, it means it will keep for much, much longer. It says it will keep. It keeps the fizziness, and some will last up to 50 years.
50 years?
I don't think it would last that long in my house.
I don't think it would in your house. No, not for sure, not at all.
Definitely not. Maybe not 50 minutes, never mind 50 years.
I like the theme, though.
Yes.
Definitely.
The front pages this morning, many of which, of course, leading on the crisis at the BBC. So let's kick off then with the Eye. Their headline there, BBC in crisis as police called in over star accused of teen sex scandal. Now, according to The Sun, the corporation is now holding urgent talks with the government. And The Star says there are questions over why it took Director General Tim Davies so long to act over the matter. The Mirror has the simple headline, BBC calls in cops. The involvement of the police is also mentioned by The Times. And these latest developments, they're also making the front of the Telegraph. And that story also dominating there, the front of the Express. And the crisis is engulfing the BBC is also the top story there for the Metro. And it's also the main concern for the Mail there, with the headline, as you can see, BBC calls in police over sex pictures claim. Now, away from the BBC, The Guardian reports that more than 50 MPs, including the former Prime Minister Theresa May, have held stakes in publicly listed companies without disclosing the fact, because there's currently no requirement for them to do so. And Financial Times says Germany and the US are under heavy pressure to show greater support for Ukraine, eventually joining NATO. And if you want to see any of those front pages again or read the stories, just scan the QR code, which is on your screen.